What's up, guys? This is Crazy Awesome. Oh my gosh, I realize my voice is really bad, but anyways, um, I got a comment saying, "Can you do Mask by Mask by Dream?" I know people hate it, but I don't mind it that much. So I'm not gonna say too much except for I've never heard a Dream song, and yeah, I am not gonna judge a book by its cover. We're gonna see what happens. I've never heard this, so let's see how it sounds. Thank you for the request.
For hours at a time, stare at the ceiling while I hold back what's on my mind. And when they ask me how I'm doing, I say I'm just fine. And when they ask me how I'm doing, I say I'm just fine. Fact is, I can never get off of my mattress, and all that they can ask is, why are you so sad, kid? That's what the mask is. That's what the point of the mask is. So you can see I'm trying. You won't see me crying. I'll just keep on smiling. I'm good.
Okay.
It just keeps on piling. It's so terrifying. But I keep on smiling.
Interesting.
I'm good. I've been caring too much for so long. Been comparing myself for so long. Been wearing a smile for so long. It's real, so long. It's real, so long. It's real. Always being judged by a bunch of strange faces.
Actually-
Scared to go outside, haven't
Okay,
seen
I
the
see why a lot of
light in
people hate
ages.
this.
But I've
Because
been
it has-
places,
just
so I'm
because of the-
okay-ish, so I'm okay.
I feel like because of the style of it, there were so many songs that were just like this song. I feel like in just like during like the peak of like 2010s like pop music, like pop and rap and all that. And I feel like there are a billion songs that kind of sound somewhat close to this, but I'll say my thoughts for the end. I'll say my thoughts for the end, actually. Okay. I feel like a lot of people expect me to kind of jump on this and say it's horrible. But I actually disagree. And you want to know why? Okay, there are some elements I don't really care for just because I don't really care for the style of music. But I think the subject matter for me actually saves it. Sure, it could be cringe.
Masterful performance.
I know, it could probably be cringe. I'm not going to talk anything about Dream. I'm not talking about Dream, the creator himself. I'm just talking about the song for the song's purposes. But yeah, it's kind of like, okay, I really do think that the whole point about the mask and like wearing a smile and about how you're wearing it for so long, it becomes you. Like the fake smile, the fake you kind of becomes you. And sure, the way he goes about it can be considered cringe, but I feel like it's actually a really powerful, like in a kind of in a corny kind of way. I feel like if you let the song, like, I feel like the lyrics, they come from a good, I can tell they come from a good place. And as I'm saying, I'm not saying anything. I know, okay, Dream is kind of controversial. He's kind of controversial to some people. So that's why I'm only, this is the song's purposes. But for the song's purposes, I will say that I think it comes from a good place of like the, just like wearing the smile, and it's just a mask, and it kind of becomes you. And I kind of feel like, I can relate to that. I feel like a lot of people can relate to that, just like wearing your mask. You go to the grocery store, you talk to the cashier, you're like, hey, how are you doing? And then she's like, good, how are you doing? Or maybe, you go to this other cashier, he's just like, hey, how are you doing? Hey, how are you doing? I'm doing good. Good, thank you. And it's just like the most basic conversation ever, and it doesn't go beyond that. You could be having the worst day ever, but are you going to tell that cashier that you're having an absolutely awful day? No, you're not. You're not. Or it could just be a random person, a random stranger, Hey, how you doing? I'm doing good. How are you doing? No, you know what you're going to do? You're going to put on your mask, and and most likely, not all people, but most likely you're probably going to say, I'm doing fine, thank you. I mean, of course you're not going to go into a full sob story, but it's like, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? It's like, think of the last time you like you asked someone how they were doing, just a random person or a person you may not know very well, and they actually, like, they didn't tell you good or fine or whatever. It's very rare, right? It's because you have that mask on. It's not because everybody is happy. It's because everyone is wearing that mask. I know this is kind of silly. I don't really love this song. I'm not going to lie. I don't love it. I'm not in love with it, but here's the thing. I don't think it's a horrible song. I definitely don't think it's a terrible song. And I do think there's actually a lot to pull from it. And I could especially see a lot of younger kids liking this song. So that's why I'm not going to make fun of it. I'm not going to knock it. It's not my style of music, preferably. But I do think it's a decently executed song. And I would probably give this song like a 6.5 out of 10. I don't really care about it too much. But I think the message is sweet. I probably wouldn't choose to listen to it again, but I do think the message is nice. So, as I say, ignoring everything about Dream, I'm just talking about the song. I'm just here to talk about songs. So, with that being said, thank you so much for the request. I'm going to try to get this video out as soon as I can. And yeah, if you made it up to this point in the video, you may as well subscribe. Like, what are you doing if you're not subscribed? So, take care, and yeah, you guys stay awesome. Thank you so much for the request.